Good evening, Keshav. You're now 3-0 and you just beat your league rival. What do you have to say to all your doubters?
I think I'm gonna just say I'm gonna ride this Eagles O line for as long as it's going.
Why?
I've heard a lot of people were hating on the Eagles this year. They think Jalen Hurts is not a good QB. Devonta is a new wide receiver one, but I think I got the right players from that team, and I have the least points against right now, but I'm still been doing good the last 2 weeks, so I'm still putting up points.
So why did you go with? I mean, you just answered this question, but so on draft day, I seen that you went with an approach of, just taking the players that people like that fell off in terms of ADP. Like you got Kenneth Walker, who kind of fell. You got DeAndre Swift, who kind of fell in the draft. Why did you go with this approach instead of getting your guys per se?
Well, yeah. Well, it was not only that; it was also just how the draft played out. I know I wanted Kelsey at 1, and I also kind of went in wanting Jalen Hurts, and at 2, AJ Brown was just the right pick, and then after that, I needed running back, so Kenneth Walker was the right pick there. So it was not really about getting my guys. It was more about just making, other than Travis Kelsey and Hurts. Other than that, it was just making the right value pick at the position I need. So that's what I did. But yeah, DeAndre Swift, I thought he's a really good talent, and he's not like in much worse of a situation than last year. And last year he got drafted really high, so I felt there was no reason to draft him at where he was going in ESPN drafts.
Y'all can ask questions.
All right, question here. So, obviously, talk of the football world. Last week, the Miami Dolphins dropped 70 points on the Denver Broncos. I see one of the key players from that game, Devin Achane, in your starting lineup. Do you want to talk about why you thought about drafting him? Obviously, an unproven rookie coming into this year. Do you have any thoughts about him?
Yeah, Ringer Fantasy Football Podcast put me on. I heard he was fast and he was on the Dolphins. I was like, I say less. And it's A Chan. He corrected the reporters after the game yesterday. Kirk, let me hear some.
Upcoming trade targets, like who are you looking to change in your squad? What roles are you targeting? What's going on?
I'm definitely lacking at wide receiver. I need something at wide receiver too. Drake London is not doing it for me. Jahan Dotson. I think I'm gonna just hold on to him. He could come up later in the season. He's getting pretty good snap share, but he's not doing it for me right now. So I'm gonna need to upgrade at that position. So
Top rivals right now. You're 3-0. You're feeling good. A little bit Mickey because of how many points have been scored about against you, but how are you coping? Is this a
why would I
place
cope?
where you
What am I coping for?
is this a place you've been to before, or like how are you dealing
No,
with
I think I'm used to this situation. I've been decently competitive in the leagues. I've made the playoffs sometimes. Never at the very bottom of the league. So it was just my time coming to where I could be at the top, and I'm gonna try to stay there for the rest of the season.
You have a big matchup coming in week 4 against the Los Angeles Lakers, who are the highest scoring team in the league right now and 2-1. How optimistic are you going into this matchup?
Let me take a look at the matchup on my phone real quick. But talking about my team, I always have confidence in Travis Kelsey. I feel like my team doesn't look good on paper, but at the end of the day, half of the QBs in the league will somehow drop less than 15. But I know Jalen Hurts is dropping 20 every time. Half the tight ends are dropping less than 7. I know mine has a high chance of dropping 20 every game. So I know those guys will deliver, and I just need some decent performances from the other dudes, and I'm good. But let's take a look at your team. You got Jalen Waddle coming back. Christian McCaffrey, definitely a good team. Christian McCaffrey against Arizona is always scary, but you got some tough matchups. Waddle in Buffalo, Watson against Baltimore, Brian Robinson against Philly. So I'm pretty optimistic.
All right. I think those are all the questions for you. Thank you for taking part. Let's get let's Brevant, let's pin you.
Okay. That's good.
All right. Good evening, Brevant. After starting the season so strongly, you now are coming off of back-to-back losses. What do you need to happen to get back on track?
All right. So obviously, as soon as the draft ended, got a couple of days after, got the bad news about Jonathan Taylor. That obviously hurt me. Obviously, these last 2 weeks, I've just been struggling with injuries. Brandon Ayuk got hurt in week 2, middle of the game. Montgomery got hurt at the end of week 2. So really just trying to get through these tough times right now. I kind of drafted for youth and to really compete towards the middle and end weeks of the league. So I'm not panicking too much right now. I have faith in my team. Yeah, I think I have a really solid team. Obviously, a little bit disappointed these past few weeks, but not too down on myself. I'm feeling pretty optimistic for the future.
You started Brees Hall and Tony Jones Jr. at your running back positions this week. Are we expecting any moves made going forward?
Yeah, like I said, I really drafted for the future. I'm not going to panic. I'm not going to make any erratic decisions right now. I drafted really good talent, Brees Hall and Jonathan Taylor. I have faith in the talent to produce. Um, Obviously, some of the situations they're in right now are not great, but I'm really not looking to make any more crazy moves right now. I've offered a couple trades, but people haven't really offered me anything. So I would be willing to listen to any trades, obviously, but as of now, I'm not really pressed to make any drastic decisions as of now.
Okay. Trevor Lawrence, I think he's had like a few mediocre games this season. Are you looking to make any changes in that position?
Honestly, no. I have faith in Trevor Lawrence. I think they're having a bit of a bumpy ride right now. And if you actually watch the games of the Jaguars, there's a lot of situations where they're inches away from connecting from touchdowns. Calvin Ridley, Zay Jones, obviously some of the people are affected by that, but I think they're just a few plays here and there away from really taking off. And they're going to play in London these next 2 weeks. I think of any teams in the NFL, the Jaguars are most suited to play there because they've sucked for so long, and the NFL forced them to play there. So I think they're going to have more of an advantage of adjusting to that time zone and the environment there. So I have faith in Trevor Lawrence. He's obviously a highly touted talent. He's been great everywhere he's been, from his youth all the way to college and even last year at the end of the season. So I have faith in my quarterback.
Okay. You are the 6.5 point underdog coming into week 4. You play Disney Pixar baddies who have Tyreek, who is a number 2 wide receiver, and Mike Evans, who is a number 5 wide receiver. How are you feeling going into this matchup?
Yeah, honestly, I'm feeling pretty good. Disney Pixar Baddies is an extremely Mickey team. They don't really pose any threat to me. I'm not threatened at all. Their running backs are suspect at best. Mike Evans is known to be locked up by Marshawn Lattimore. That's a nightmare matchup for him. And the Buffalo defense, obviously, is pretty formidable. Tyreek Hill is a threat anytime he plays. But yeah, I have faith this week, and I don't really think Team Disney Pixar Baddies really faces any threat to me.
Okay. That's all the questions from me. Y'all can ask questions.
Yeah. What are the thoughts on your tight end Cole Kmet and his outlook for the rest of the fantasy season?
Yeah, so that is a position where I am looking to make changes. I've offered some trades for tight ends. No one's taking them seriously. So I will be doing some more digging, some more research into some other options at tight end. I'm extremely unhappy with his production. Obviously, wasn't expecting too much out of him since he's drafted so late, but the Chicago Bears have been an absolute dumpster fire this year, and the passing offense for the Bears has been horrific. So Cole Kmet has not produced as to what I've hoped. So I'm looking to make changes there.
How do you think he's going to perform for you, given that you've publicly trashed his name and already indicated to the public that you are looking for other options at his position?
Um, I hope he takes it as motivation because if he doesn't pick it up, I might drop his ass. So, just know, no one's safe. All right, week to week, day to day. If you don't perform, the next best option might come and replace you. That's how it works in the NFL. It's an extremely competitive league. People are always looking to make moves. People want the best option to win. So if you don't perform, you might be replaced. So be careful. Come on now, Cole.
I have one more question for you. So Jamar Chase had a monster game, 26.1 fantasy points, no touchdowns as well, which is really good. After a slow start, like, what do you expect his output for the rest of the season? Like, do you expect him to be a wide receiver, like a top three wide receiver, like for like the entire season, even after these bad games in week 1 and 2?
Yeah. So obviously what happened last week is definitely not consistent. It can't be relied upon. He had 12 receptions. I think that was his career high. So the touchdown or I would say lack of touchdown output's a little bit concerning. The Bengals have struggled to get into the red zone, but I think it's a really great sign that the Bengals really decide to lean up on him. The previous 2 weeks they were kind of just throwing him in a one-on-one situations, just trying to make his talent work, and Joe Burrow wasn't able to deliver the ball. But this past week they really got him in a lot of situations, moved him to different positions, and they really used him well. So I think for some reason they didn't think about doing it the first 2 weeks. Yeah, pretty crazy, right? Use Jamar Chase. Wow, what a crazy idea. But I think the Bengals are starting to figure it out that talent defeats all. So Jamar Chase is looking good for me. I was earlier making to possibly make a move for Jamar Chase, but now he's solidly stuck in my lineup. I will not be making trades for him. Thank you.
All right, and DJ Chark had a strong performance, your best performance on your bench by by a by a mile. Do you expect him to be starting next week?
I do not. I think I have one of the strongest wide receiver cores in the league. Um, Jordan Addison is on my bench as well, and he has a lot of upside as well. Unfortunately, my wide receiver room is just stacked. Um, I have made some trade offers. Someone might be in this call who may have gotten a trade offer for one of my wide receivers. I'm looking to upgrade my running backs. It's not a looking to upgrade my running back depth. I'm faith in the running backs that I have right now, but I'm looking to add more running backs. So I think my wide receiver depth is great, but I don't think I really need to start DJ Chark.
All right, that's I think those are all the questions.
All right. Thank you guys.
All right,
Keep
yeah.
counting me out. All right.
Good evening, Kirk. Uh, you're coming off the best performance this season with 150.68 points. How are you feeling moving forward?
Like after Nick Chubb, it was pretty dire. But I checked my bench, happened to have Jerome Ford already on it. That was a dub, and actually really lucked out. Also, I mean, not lucked. I was managing like a lot of things and made a good trade. Got Mike Will out of my roster for Moster. and Mike Will actually is on IR right now.
Yeah,
So
he tore his ACL.
yeah,
It's kind
exactly.
of sad. So Raheem Mostert dropped 45.2 points this past week. Do you expect him to continue having performances like this?
I think 45 is not realistic um, every week, but I think, right now I'm looking at a good like 15, 20 I'll take. Um, I am worried about JWJ coming back. I don't think Achane is gonna have. I think he's gonna be RB3 at best. Um,
Devon. Wait,
and,
what's his
and
name?
yeah,
How do you
yeah,
pronounce his name again? It's Devon.
I think it's Achan.
Achan,
Okay.
Achan.
You went with a bold move by benching T. Higgins this week, which won you the week because if you started him in front of, actually no, if you started him in front of Nico Collins, you still would have won. But let's say if you started him over Michael Pittman or Amari Cooper, you would have lost this week. Why did you bench T. Higgins this week?
Some about the Bengals and Joe Burrow wasn't really riding right with me. He was coming off a 30-point week, but the week before he had 8 targets and like nothing happened. So I don't know. His season right now is very up and down. I'm gonna need some more time to see how he's playing, see if I can include him in my roster or not. But I was just more confident. I think Pittman is definitely going to be solid this season, just putting up some good 10 to 15 point range. Someone could depend on Nico Collins. I think this week was tough for him. I did see some analysis. He's the defense he was playing against was really covering him in the center, and then they had Dell on the outside who's getting most of that target share. So I'm thinking another day will be Nico Collins' day. So moving forward, I'm on him.
All right. Those are all the questions from me.
So, Team Chubbin and Grubbin. So you are actually rostering the number 2 and number 3 scoring quarterbacks in the NFL fantasy football right now. Are you looking to make any moves with the quarterback, try to package them with another player to try to upgrade your roster? Have you thought about doing that?
Yeah, it's something I'm looking at right now. It is also just nice to have like you're confident like going in that these guys are gonna put up numbers. If I find a good trade, of course, like I'll probably make that move. But I'm very comfortable having two good options every week. But going in, I was not thinking that I would have such high ranking quarterbacks this far in this early on. But yeah.
I have another question. So you are currently rostering a player that on live television was shown absolutely shattering his knee and has no chance of playing this year. Unfortunate scenario, but are you rostering him in hope of him playing this year? I'm a little confused by the management there.
He's on IR, so it doesn't like affect anything right now. Right now, like I don't have another player. Like I can't draw. I just can't change the name a week after my boy got done like that. And it's actually kind of lucky. He only tore his MCL, so it looks a little bit more optimistic for returning next season. Which like I am aware of his injury and this timeline. But for right now, it's a keepsake, and until I feel comfortable changing the name, changing our identity moving forward, I'm gonna keep him.
I think there's a lot of hype around your team after a little fluky performance from Mostert and even Kittle last week. Your first 2 weeks, you had a mediocre around 100 points. Do you think you're going to come back to earth, or just Mostert going to keep dropping 40?
Okay, I would shave off like 20 points easily from this team. I do think I was a bit hard done on my defenses throughout these first 3 weeks. I got -2, -4, and okay, actually the first week I got 20, but that doesn't matter. But what I would say is like I'm thinking like a 120 average is something to be proud of. I had a slow start for sure. Was not trying to be 0-3 with Carter down the bottom because it's tough. It's tough to get out of there once you're down. Ankith knows. But yeah,
I
I
can
mean,
also
I'm
imagine.
optimistic. You know, I am. I feel like my wide receivers are still up in the air, and it's still like a T Higgins kind of. I don't know. I drafted this guy, and he's just not. He's not it right now. But yeah,
You do need a wide receiver, so we can talk.
yeah.
Actually,
Sure.
we can talk. Check your trades.
All right. Wait, I thought you sent me a running back. Oh no, you're talking Keisha. Never mind.
I don't have any trades.
I have a trade proposal. Please look at your trades. Thank you.
All right.
Well, actually, I don't.
Do we have any more questions for Kirk? All right. I think those are all the questions for you. All right. Can you, TJ? I can't hear you.
Oh, what you want?
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure you can speak. All right.
3-12.
All right. Good evening, TJ. All right. First question: your team has lacked consistency these past 3 weeks. What are you going to do to
You
solve
gonna
this?
ask me how I'm doing? I mean, damn. Thank you for your time. I don't get any of that. Damn.
I'm sorry. How are you doing, TJ?
I'm doing good. Could be doing better.
How was your past few days?
It's been pretty rough, man. I'm in 9 leagues and I won 3 of them. I mean, is that even right, bro?
Yeah, I'm in 5 leagues and I won one of them.
And the
I'm being completely serious.
and the Panthers lost.
I mean, that's like expected though. All right. Okay. Going back to it. The first question: your team has lacked consistency these past 3 weeks. What are you going to do to solve this problem?
You know, this may sound crazy, but I might do nothing. I really think I'm just going to let it happen. My team is obviously disappointed. I'm not even going to lie. I might even have some luck going for me. I think I'm bottom, pretty much in the bottom in points allowed. I've been lucky enough to not play strong opponents, and I've still lost, which is obviously not a great sign for the future. But I think just looking at my roster, I'm not hitting the panic button yet. Could I have done moves to probably improve my team in the last week or so? I probably could have. Not really any strong regrets. You move on to the next week. It's 1-2. You can easily be 3-0. I mean, we got some Mickey Mouse dudes in this Zoom call that are 3-0. I mean, anybody's allowed to be 3-0. It's just a matter of the mentality you have and the roster you have. So we take it week by week, and I'm just looking towards week.
All right. I recognize like there is a problem with your roster. You don't have many players in your roster with the high enough ceiling. Like, are you going to start looking for players with higher ceilings?
See, I agree. I agree with what you're saying. But no, I'm not, because I think the idea of Boom, those are top tier guys, and to get them, you gotta be willing to let go of pieces. And I'm not saying I'm not willing to do that, but I also can recognize, as much as every week matters and you get 1 week closer to the playoffs, week 4 does not need to be the week that it happens. I'm so serious. I'm probably going to let this team ride out and find its identity. It's still too early to say my running backs suck. Sure. I don't believe that. I really like my team. I like Javante. If his team doesn't lose 70 to fucking 20, maybe you get a better game out of him. Ramondre lost some touches to Zeke. Sure, there's some concern there playing a Dallas defense that is good, but also just got burnt by James Conner and those boys. I mean, what are we doing? I mean, obviously the Saquon injury sucks. There's real reason there. Amon Ra hasn't had that over the top ceiling boom that you would want, but hasn't disappointed. Puka obviously disappointed last week, but we'll see how that goes this week. I'm still confident. Goddard has done nothing besides bore me to death, but it's still better production than and it's average tight end production. Obviously, my flex I need to figure out, but I like my bench. I like the pieces there. They're going to start to shape in time, and I'm fine.
All right. Y'all can ask questions. Those are all the questions I have.
Yeah, you've mentioned that there's some Mickey Mouse 3-0 teams. Can you just elaborate on that evaluation and how those teams maybe compare to your roster?
Yeah, it's just see, to me the thing is obviously, especially in fantasy football, if you start 3-0, you have a higher chance of making the playoffs. Whether you deserve it or not, I don't think it really I get to choose and determine that, right? You just put in that position. I guess taking advantage of the situation is great. Thing is, I have no real worry about this league because what is the one team I should be scared of? I can't tell you. There's good teams in this league and they're all competitive. But if you're telling me I'm shivering in my timbers any week because I got to play X and Y, I'm not. I mean, listen, this Mickey Mouse power rankings, we have dudes moving 6 places in one day. Like, what is that? The number one guy, I whooped his ass. And now I'm what? Sitting at 11. Don't matter. I whooped his ass when it mattered. Like, I do not care about these power rankings. I do not care about these standings. None of your teams make me blink. All right. So in terms of there happens to be a dude named Keshav who's 3-0 and Sparsh who's 3-0. I mean, are we serious? I said my points allowed were lower. Somehow you guys are lower than me. I mean, are you serious right now? Sparsh is at Keshav, you're at 90 a game. Forget about boom, bro. 90 a game. I mean, I could have two Dolphins running backs and they can score more than that. Are we serious? I'm sure the Cowboys defense has scored 90 combined. I mean, what the hell? Don't tell me anything about, can you compare your roster to their roster? You suck, bro. I want you suck. I mean, come on, man. Who are you playing this week? I'm actually
playing me.
I got asked questions about some playing the commissioner. Oh my god. I mean, I don't even know who I want to win. Some dude's about to be one that doesn't. I need
the last 2 weeks. I had an average score of around 134. Is that
fucking job, bro? Okay, okay. You really want to go through this person by person? Jalen Hurts, he's cool. Kenneth Walker, great. Played a fucking terrible Panthers defense. DeAndre Swift, incredible. Gonna have good offensive line. AJ Brown, I mean, talking about boom bust. I don't even know the dude's gonna get 5 points or 20, but hey, he got 20. Good job. Drake London, are we serious? Travis Kelce, that's off. Jahan Dotson should be cut. I mean, he shouldn't even be making my bench. Okay, then let's look at this bench that you have. Devon Achane. I mean, Achane. Are you confident starting him, really? I know he had to go. Are you confident starting him? What, Jerick McKinnon? Please play him. Please, for the love of God, play him. I mean, Dalton King, Tank, Big Kennan. I mean, who are your wide receivers, bro? Go make some damn moves. God, if you fleece somebody for Achane, good job. You've done your job. If you don't, and you come into next week with the same roster, that's how I know your team is Mickey. I mean, that's how I know you.
I am not giving you H8 for no DJ Moore.
I'm not doing that shit. I don't want him. I don't want him. Go fleece somebody else. Okay, let's look at Kamish. What is Kamish got? He got Deshaun Watson. I mean, he's fine with playing a sexual predator at quarterback. Okay, that's fine. Christian McCaffrey, he's that guy. Brian Robinson, his ass wasn't flipped, and I know you're ruined that. Oh my God. Calvin Ridley, I don't care about the targets. The brother can't catch a touchdown pass. Elijah Moore. TJ Hawkins, he tough. His name TJ. Tutu, a little Mick, you know. Okay, let's look at the bench. Waddle, okay, Waddle's going to be good. Christian Watson, he's probably not even going to play Thursday, damn it. Cam Akers, enough said. JSN, enough said. Elijah Mitchell, Ty Spear, Maverick. I mean, listen, none of you guys are good. Okay, you're not bad. I'm not saying your roster might be better than mine, sure. Are we serious, bro? Like, are we serious? Come on, man. Come on. I mean,
All right,
do you really do you, I'm so serious. I'm so serious. Can I have a question for the press? Do you feel real good about your team right now, Keisha? Can you please tell me confidently?
The thing is, the value that Kelsey and Hurts give, like when you went through
Hold
my
on,
team,
hold on.
and then you
Kelsey,
passed
yes. Kelsey, yes. Hurts?
Hurt. He never gives me less than 20.
He's not going to give you a bad week. I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing with that. But that production is replaced by a lot of other quarterbacks.
It's hard.
It's replaced by a lot of other quarterbacks
really
now.
boom at like how many quarterbacks are dropping 30 like ever? Pretty much
30. Dog, 30. How much did Hurts just drop?
No, I'm just saying.
Hurts had a rushing touchdown. How much he dropped? Hurts had a rushing touchdown. How much he dropped? 19.88. You acting like you playing in there. You playing QB5. You playing QB5. Hey, listen. Hurts is QB7. I mean, listen. Yeah, he's gonna do better as the year progresses. I promise you, Hurts is not gonna be QB3. Oh no, he's not. He sucks. I mean, whatever. Can I
if you okay, sorry. If you say Jalen Hurts sucks, like in terms of fantasy football,
no, he
then
sucks.
you're simply not watching.
Hold on. He sucks in terms of
even as a quarterback.
Fantasy football, he's top 7.
All right,
I don't want to hear about how his position is at a premium. Dude. Obviously, this year it's a little early to say, but it feels like drafting a quarterback that early is not going to pay off as much as it would have in past years because nobody is killing the game. Really? Like, I'm supposed to say QB1's Tua? Hell no. You just said it yourself. Well, like Pat Mahomes, he's cool. He's great. Lamar, he's cool. He's great. Jalen Hurts, he's cool. He's great. None of them are a superstar, and I'm lucky to have him. Realistically, tell me this. Am I really fucking pissed if I'm playing Jordan Love at quarterback? I'm getting almost similar production.
The thing is the consistency every week.
Okay.
There's no chance. No matter what defense proof, anything.
Facts. And Hurts is the most proof because his Mickey Mouse, and for a reason was why you drafted him, gets his ass in the red zone. I get it. Whatever. But don't tell me you got this premium at the quarterback position because you have Jalen Hurts, man. Come on, man.
All right, you're talking about everyone else's teams. Let's look at your team that you started this past.
Hold on, what? I was only talking about other teams.
Look at your team that started this past.
Okay. I was literally asked by the media, can I talk about these teams? And I did.
Let's look. As a media member, let's look at your team. All right.
I mean, man.
Yeah, you're looking through my team. Like,
okay, fine. Can I get my breakdown first? I already did, but can I get my breakdown again?
All right.
Lamar Jackson, top 7 quarterback this year. Good quarterback. That offense looks like mediocre. Good fantasy quarterback.
Okay.
Ramondre Stevenson, a little worrying, but he's played great defenses.
But the thing is, he's going to have to play great defenses twice a year. 2 of them.
And he's already played half of them. Damn it. I mean, that's fine.
Okay, that's fair. But he's also going to have to play the Eagles defense because he plays against the Eagles.
Javonte Williams, they're ramping him up. Game script has gone heavily against him. I will say,
but they're not a good team.
Okay, who are they playing this week? The Chicago Bears. Okay, if they're worse than the Bears, I might as well cut him. All right, that's my bad. Right. But listen, he hasn't been given a fair shot. I'm gonna give him a fair shot. He sucks. Then maybe you tell me he sucks. But I don't believe
you have Saquon though. You have Saquon, who is he's coming off a high ankle sprain. But
okay, I hope they rest him one more week. And we'll be fine.
Like the thing that worries me the most about your roster is like you have 4 really good wide receivers, but not one of them can go for 30 in a game.
I think
other than maybe Puka, if he gets
4 really good wide receivers is a very large stretch right there.
Yeah, he has 4 good wide receivers. 4 wide receivers.
I don't think it's 4 great, but I'll tell you this. Amon Ra, yeah, you wish he's gotten a bit more, but am I disappointed by his production at all?
Of course, you're not disappointed by that production, but like, okay, I mean, that's fair.
Yes, he's not dropping 30, but he's dropping damn near 20 every week. Puka just had his worst game. We'll see about the Puka hype. I'm not gonna lie, that's nothing but a toxic.
I mean, their defense is really good, Cincinnati. But your team isn't bad. Your flex is worrying. You don't have a real tight end. I mean, like the running backs are the most worrying part for me, of course.
Well, here's my thing.
Most every other team in this league.
My team It doesn't have a problem. I'll say this: my team doesn't
much.
have an insane problem compared to a lot of other. Like for example, there's no glaring issue, but the thing is, that's where you want to start to cover up any issue that may arise on a week-to-week basis. I agree, there is an issue there, but I'll also say this: what am I supposed to do to force? I can force trades, I can, but I don't want to do something like playing with my depth this early. Quality over
That's fair.
quantity does matter in fantasy football, but if you think it
Yeah.
matters in week 3, week 4, you got damn problems.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not going to say I'm going to win the trade
The
war
main
every year,
main
but at
concern
the
for
same
you is
time,
how you.
there's a reason I win the trade war almost every single year.
Okay, that's fair.
What the
But
hell I'm doing?
the main concern for your team is how are you going to find wins when Saquon can be out for the next 2 weeks? You need to get at least one win in those next 2 weeks. And getting any win in this league is hard.
Listen. Ramondre or Javonte, I'm confident one of them is hitting next week. I actually know. I'm not confident in Ramondre. I think Javonte is going to give me at least 14. Lamar, I love Lamar.
Talk about at least 14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, listen. Obviously, that's not great, but that's all I need to be some Mickey ass dudes in this league. All right. Amon Ra and Puka. I mean, listen. Amon Ra and Puka, those are good guys. My tight end has been middling. And if he's middling, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. One touchdown is all I need to be even super. The biggest thing is how I pick my flex position. I have a tough decision. DJ makes me want to kill myself. Michael Thomas, damn. I'm not gonna lie, I really like Josh Downs. You might see some hero flex plays. But things happen. You gotta figure it out. Motherfuckers want to put me on blast, get me on a press conference every week to fucking say, all right. I don't care. I talk about my team. Listen, I'm 1-3. I'm a little bit more worried. I am not that worried. Come on, man. Come on.
Okay. Next week you play Kirk's
Play
team,
Chubbin and Grubbin. Low-key, one of my
they're a good team.
as far as I'm
They're a
concerned.
good team. You haven't. I don't think you've set your lineup yet. You haven't set your lineup.
I mean, I'll be honest. It's a tough week for me. I'm playing.
Yeah, you're the 11-point underdog.
Kirk Cousins. Like, are we serious? Damn. Okay. Tony Pollard.
Kirk Cousins.
A Patriots defense. Let's see the Patriots. Let's see the Cowboys. It's a good bounce back spot for them. And it's at home, which should be nice. Mostert at Buffalo. Let's see how Miami does. That's a huge game for them.
That's going to be a huge game, yeah.
Yeah,
and I feel like it's going to be good. I feel like it's going to be. I think it's going to be a lot of fantasy.
Mostert got catches too. Let's see how everything carries. Also, is Jeff Wilson back this week? Or next
no, he's week 5.
Week 5.
Amari Cooper.
I don't think Jeff Wilson has to earn his role back.
I love Amari Cooper, Kirk. Well, I love Amari Cooper. Hopefully, just Deshaun is good. Michael Pittman, he's a great floor. I mean, he's as good as it gets. George Kittle, yeah. Nico Collins. I mean, what? Listen, they're saying Nico 1 week. They're saying take Dell 1 week. They're saying Robert Woods 1 week. Next week they're gonna say Dalton. No, sorry, Brevin Jordan. I mean, Jesus. Like, I wouldn't love that. As of right now, you have the Jaguars defense. Next, Justin Tucker. I mean, the brother has sold 2 kicks already. But I won't get in on your kicker. Yeah, I love Justin. You want to play T. Higgins instead of Nico? You can. But I don't even know what's left. Jerome Ford. Divisional game. It's going to be a low-scoring game, but AFC North, take the underdog, by the way, for all the bettors out there. And then, actually, what is it? I know it's Cleveland 1.5, plus 1.5 before the game. Sorry. Y'all got me thinking. What am I supposed to be worried about, like, realistically? This dude, Kirk, is so ass. He has Chubb on his IR still. I mean, just cut him, brother. He's not coming back.
You weren't here for this. You weren't here for that.
Yeah, we asked him this question.
That's already been.
Yeah. But he said that he he has a sentiment to his team name that you can't cut him yet unless he needs someone to put someone in his IR slot.
Oh my God, Browns is plus 1.5 last week. It's already minus 2.5. So now we take the Ravens, baby. We take the Ravens.
All right. Do we have any more questions for TJ?
I got a question.
Is it to me? Is it to me?
Every single week, I'm getting antagonized. I mean, listen, I'm not saying I don't deserve number 11 in the power rankings, but I swear some of this Kirk is 5, bro. You just moved him up 6.
Bro, his team is good. Like, bro, look at his team. Like, I'm not trying to defend myself.
How is Keshav number 1?
Half of the power rankings I
listen.
put out.
I'm so serious. I'd rather you put Kirk above Keshav in the power rankings.
The thing is, half the power rankings I put out is for people to talk in the chat so they can get entertained. All right.
I know. Okay.
So
why is the entertainment you put me in the bottom every goddamn week?
First of all, you were 11th place in the league as well, not just a power ranking. You were 11th place. You may not have the 11th worst roster, but you are 11th place right now. So me putting you at 11th is going with where you are in the league standings right now. All right.
Whatever, dude.
On
Whatever.
this press conference,
You know what?
because
I'm not gonna lie. I
first
want
I
to
knew
be
you
one
were
and
gonna.
three. Damn it,
At
I might
first,
even
first
want
I
to
knew
go
you were
one
gonna
and four,
entertain everybody.
just so I can ship it on
Second,
y'all, motherfucker. Just so I can ship it on y'all. Oh my god. Let me look at my schedule, bro.
second, going into Monday night, we were both tied. It was the closest matchup.
Wait, hey. I already told you you're cooking my ass, man. I knew it was too weak. It wasn't even funny.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. All right. I think this is all we have to say to you, TJ.
Hey, I want to be on here next week. Fuck it. I want to be on here next
All
week.
right. You might be hunting next week.
All right, Team Los Angeles Acres. You came off of a pretty good week against one of your rivals for life. Beat them by 25 points in a pretty dominant showing.
20.
20 points. And it
20
wasn't
points,
dominant.
pretty dominant showing. How do you feel going? How do you feel in your performance this week, and how do you feel going to next week?
Okay, so first thing, like this past performance, I had two players. I mean, Christian Watson's been out this entire year. I've had Jalen Waddle, who was my wide receiver who was my first wide receiver drafted. He was out this past week, so I had to replace him with Elijah Moore to do that well, and I'm very glad with how they performed. I'm really good with Christian McCaffrey. You know, B-Rob had a tough matchup. I was expecting that, but if you watch the game, he did look good. 10 carries for 70 yards. Game script did not go his way. Um, you know, I think this week where I was the most proud of myself was adjusting my kicker because Harrison Butker, I mean, he did drop 12 points, but Harrison Butker, like what I saw with the Chiefs offense is that they're really good in the red zone. And I feel like I just need a I think the kicker with the offense who's bad in the red zone so he gets more opportunities. And Eagles defense showed up. I had 25 points with my defense and kicker, which outscored my opponent by 17, which basically won me this matchup. Um, but there are some concerns. Calvin Ridley, two back-to-back lackluster performances, but I expect him to bounce back. But I feel good going into next week. Tough opponent. But I do feel pretty optimistic.
So, I think like you said, it's great to know that you can pull out wins from anywhere. Defense kicker. I mean, that's the shrewd managerial job. So kudos to you on that. But in a sense, I know he said a great week for you, but you finished sixth in scoring in the week, so right at average. And 14 or 24 of those points, like you mentioned, were from, or sorry, 25 of those points, like you mentioned, from defense and special team. Obviously, you mentioned the wide receiver injuries, but they don't look like that's something that's going to necessarily. Watson is a Thursday night game. You don't know. Waddle could be there, but he hasn't had anything to overly impress. Granted, probably an upgrade at who you're playing right now. But what in your current starting lineup gives you hope going into these big weeks? Because there are a lot of areas of concern. There are a lot of questions of consistency outside of Christian McCaffrey. So and TJ Hawkinson. So what are some signs that you think are going for positive for you?
I think the main thing for me is Christian McCaffrey and TJ Hawkinson. TJ Hawkinson is the number one tight end, and that positional advantage for me is huge. Yeah, I don't think this past week hasn't been good. I don't think this past week was good for me because a lot of other teams scored a lot. They scored more points than me. But the thing is, what I really like about this team that I have right now is they are averaging around 126 points per game throughout this season, and the consistency is there. And if you average more than 125 points, I believe that your team is good and your team is in a good. They're going to have a good chance to make the playoffs. But going back to my wide receivers, yeah, the consistency is worrying. I expect more from Jalen Waddle, but I feel like he's going to have games where he just goes crazy because that offense is just so fantasy friendly. I think Christian Watson, even if he doesn't play this week, even if he doesn't, I mean, Christian Watson, the talent is there, quarterback is there, and if he's what people make him out to be, like I have a really good flex, and that would be my flex. So
Well, so
I think he could be really good.
here's the thing. I agree with you, but I think you're touching on something that kind of is you have incredible talent in your receiver room. I mean, to have Waddle, Ridley, and Watson's incredible, but those are all offenses in which the ball is spread incredibly. I mean, the Dolphins just scored 70 points without Jalen Waddle.
Yeah.
They don't need him. The Jacksonville Jaguars are seemingly struggling, and Ridley's also part of a stacked wide receiver core. Christian Watson, he's been out, and they got guys like Dontavion Wicks, Jaden Reed, not to mention Romeo Dobbs garnering 12 targets. In addition to Luke Musgrave, that rookie tight end, you have the talent, but that's a pure boom bust room. And with a weak bench, are you looking to make moves to do something about that? Or is this something where you play it by ear and see what happens?
I've considered, making like just looking at my roster, seeing what I could do. Um, I think I do want to make, certain moves here and there. I don't really have much running back depth, but I think it can be improved with Cam Akers in Minnesota. Um, and maybe like, I have two handcuffs. But I don't know. I think there is moves to be made. I'm not saying like, my roster is perfect. I don't think anyone's roster is perfect. But I'm not saying that I'm in a bad spot either. Going back to what you said, like they spread the ball around. If I start three wide receivers, maybe one or two of them is going to do really well that game, and maybe one of them will have like a mediocre week, and maybe if you're going, one will have like 10 points, one will have like 7 points, and one will have like 30, and that can win you a week. So I don't really mind that. I think I've been going that way these past few years, so this is the way I play.
Do you have any regrets not trading Brian Robinson last week?
No, I knew these next two games are going to be tough. But the thing about B-Rob is like B-Rob is young, and his role is just going to keep improving. If you watch him play, like the thing is like maybe I could have traded him. Like I was looking at like players like maybe Josh Jacobs who had a bad week, maybe Derrick Henry. But the thing is I don't really think I had the depth to make a trade um for like a really good piece, and like I just had worries about for like maybe for one of the injured running backs I can go for, but I don't know. I think running backs like is a really weird position right now in NFL. Players are getting hurt, and I just believe in the talent that B Rob has right now, like the way that the enemy offense, his role, you know. But no, like he looks good though. Like he doesn't look bad, and then he's going to have a stretch. He has a stretch of games where he has really good matchups. So we're just waiting for that stretch.
Yeah. That's it for me.
Obviously your team is named the Los Angeles Acres. But Cam Akers obviously got cut from the Rams and is looking to make his way into the Minnesota Vikings. Do you have any thoughts of making a team name? Because Cam Akers is currently a shitter and is not expected to do anything.
I mean, I'm gonna keep Akers on my bench because as of right now, because there's not really any good running backs that I believe that are better than him on the waivers. I mean, he could. The thing is, he can carve out a role in Minnesota because Madison has not looked good. And but if I do drop him, I will change my name because he won't be on my roster anymore. But no, I think he can. I think he can carve out a role though. Madison does not look good. I'm a believer in Cam Akers, so yeah. Any more questions? All right. I think that's it, right? I think we're good.
Yep.
All right. Thank you for everyone that came out today. Uh, thank you, TJ, for your entertaining press conference. Thank you, Keshav. Thank you, Ravant. Um, thank you to Keshav because I know the time difference, can be a little difficult. But You know, if you're watching this on YouTube, you know, like, comment, subscribe.
Also, shout out to Kirk for the.
Yeah, shout out. Oh yeah, shout out. Oh yeah, Sorry, Kirk. Shout out to Kirk. You know, he wasn't prepared, but he still got interviewed. Um, but yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah.